Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, participants, brothers, sisters, for joining in today's session. A session, alhamdulillah, in which we have gone through multiple topics related to how one can effectively carry out their duties, take the maximum benefit from this most blessed month of Ramadan while also remaining in the modern world. Today, we have switched up the format a little bit, changed it a little bit, in that it's going to become very spiritual focused, Sufi focused. You'll recall that the last 5, 6 sessions that we've covered social media, we've covered muraqbah, we've covered how Ramzan is, how it ought to be. We've covered, spoken about my experience with my shaykh, with the love of Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, but from a very worldly perspective. And that's all well and good. But to take the quote as a foundation, that by traversing the path of Sufism, one will get the hereafter as well as the world. I'd like to talk more about the spirituality aspect, and I think we'll start focusing on that. Right. So very specifically is focused on Tasawwuf, which is loosely translated, or I would say imperfectly translated, as Sufism, and its essence. So, and I say loosely translated because apart from the lack of possibility of literal translation, what's lost in translation, apart from that, the Tasawwuf is a path less described than experienced. There's this very beautiful example that a mango, there's a world of a difference between tomes and volumes and libraries and so many words expended on describing what a mango is, what it tastes like, and the taste of a mango. Who's superior in understanding the essence of the mango, if you will? The one who tastes it. So the Tasawwuf is this path where one, rather than understanding from a philosophical, intellectual perspective, it's an experienced path. It's the path in which the heart takes a precedence over the mind. And not to say that the mind is not critical. In fact, our the ulama who partake in Tasawwuf, their darjat, subhanAllah, are head and shoulders above a conventional person on the path of Sufism. So knowledge married with practice, that is probably the most superior form. And so today we'll be talking on the topics that we'll cover, and the questions I expect I'll receive from you will be around that. And I look forward to discussing that with you. Again, be aware that these sessions are less about me talking and more about us interacting, collaboratively coming up with an understanding and doing our tazkiyah, cleansing of the soul, as much myself, as much as for you, audiences who are joining. So on that note, without further ado, I received a couple of questions prior to this meeting, and I'll start going over that. So question number 1. So question 1, how does one proceed if one has difficulty following the instructions of one's shaykh? I'm afraid that he will be upset if I do not follow his guidelines, despite them being straightforward and firm. Look, these are 2 questions in one. I'm afraid that he will be upset if I do not follow his guidelines. Look, it's not your worry if he'll be upset or not. Your job as a salik is to update your shaykh regularly, follow the shaykh. That's what's your responsibility, right? If you're doing it, not doing it, you're supposed to tell the sheikh. In fact, the sheikh, I would suspect, would appreciate much more if you would tell that it's not happening. Or very often I've seen also that saliks, they tend to tell what they're doing well. But if you go to a doctor, you don't tell them that I'm doing exercise and I'm eating healthy, but you tell them the negative traits within you. So how are you not following the Sharia? Your ikhlaq with your family is not going well. You're not doing your job properly. Your and then your prayers are not going well. Um, so that's much more what a sheikh wants to hear, because the whole purpose of the sheikh, oh, it should be louder. All right, look, I'm going to try. I hope it's better now. Hold on, let me just adjust my fan. I hope there's a marginal improvement. So, coming back, yeah. So the purpose is that you tell whatever bad that it is that you think that's happening in your life, and the job of the sheikh is to guide you through it, right? So I'm afraid you to be upset if I don't follow his guidelines. So just if you're not being able to follow the guidelines, and tell the sheikh. The sheikh, it's his duty to tell you or to give you methods or to work with you to enable you to follow the guidelines that you've been given more effectively. Now, how does one proceed if one has difficulty following the instructions of one's sheikh? Look, in the path of our Naqshbandi Silsila, it's really easy, right? So you have to do starting 15 minutes of muraqbah, 15 minutes of muraqbah, tasbihat, and shajra. This should take you maximum, in fact, let's maximum half an hour if you do 15 minutes muraqbah. In fact, even less, probably 20, 25 minutes, the whole process. So I don't think it's very difficult. No, look, not to underestimate whatever difficulties one is going through. Maybe initially it's hard, there's anxiety that you feel. Shaitan is working extra hard on trying to divert you because you have entered a realm which, once gone upon, it becomes very hard for Shaitan to turn you away from it, inshallah. So Shaitan's full focus is on you. So again, point I'm trying to say is that if you look at it from an objective way, it's really not that tough to follow the basic instructions of one's sheikh. 15 minutes, ideally half an hour muraqbah, and then tasbihat and um, your shajara of our elders. And if you still have problem following it, brother or sister, no problem. Tell your sheikh. Uh, it's He'll appreciate the fact that you're coming to him, making an effort, and you're telling that it's not happening to you. I've seen so many saliks experience it, even myself, where it's not happening, and still the sheikh perseveres with you. Look, the sheikh is not there to earn brownie points for himself. His job, his entire job description is that no matter what happens, as long as you're putting in your 5 to 10%, it's his job to guide you on the path to get you to the path of following the sunnah, to get the love of Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, to get you to Allah. That's his job description. He's going to be judged on that. So, if anything, he's more afraid than you if things are not moving forward. So, don't worry, it's not happening. Go to him. Just tell him it's not happening, Sheikh Sahab. Earn a rebuke or two. It'll be good for you. It won't happen most probably. Sheikhs are very gentle, especially in this day and age. So, inshallah, nothing will happen. Just do it. Second question, how does one bounce back from long periods of not obtaining the Sheikh Sobat and doing Mamulat? Start small, and then work yourself up from there. Uh, 15 minutes, I said 15 minutes of Muraqbah, and then 20 minutes. Things are not happening, you're starting from zero, don't beat yourself up. Just say, okay, how can I get off my mobile phone from doom scrolling before I start doom scrolling? And just So I've set apart this 20 minutes, which I know are good for me, and I'm relatively available on at this time. These 20 minutes, and I just do it. Okay? Just 20 minutes. That's all it takes to bounce back from long periods of not obtaining the Sheikh Sobat and doing Mamulat. Sheikh Sobat, of course, supercharges it, but as a sister once asked, that women do not get direct Sobat of the Sheikh. Does that put them at disadvantage? No, it doesn't. Theirs is a different approach. But I think what it shows is that while Sheikh Sobat is critical, um, it's more critical that you do your Mamulat. You can have a person who's getting all the Sobat of the Sheikh but not doing the Mamulat. Uh, and I think that's less superior to a person doing the Mamulat and not getting as much Sobat of the Sheikh as would be the case were they able to have the chance. Allah looks at your circumstances. He's seeing the effort you're making. You're falling down, getting up, falling down, getting up, but you're trying it again and again. So how does one bounce back? Setting apart 20 minutes in a day and 15 minutes muraqabah, shajara, tasbihah, and you're done. Go back to doom scrolling if that's the thing that's plaguing you. Go back to gaming if that's what's troubling you. But just before you do that, do this. And inshallah, things will improve. What's the difference between Sufism and Tasawwuf? I think I mentioned that earlier. Sufism uh, is the English word for Tasawwuf. Uh, and Sufi, if I recall correctly, Suf was a loose woolen cloth that our early buzurgs, our early elders on this path used to wear. Suf, so Sufism, that's where it comes from. And Tasawwuf is Sufism is a loose translation of Tasawwuf, in which you have the tazkiyah. The whole purpose is the focus is on the heart and its cleansing. And through its cleansing, you get clarity of the world, one's purpose, and through spiritual exercises, you get to your ambition, the reason we've been created, to get to Allah. Through the path of the Sunnat, Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam Sunnat, through emulating that, imbibing that, and getting to Allah. So that's, I don't know if it's so much a difference, it's the same thing essentially. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi. I didn't get my reply regarding the imama and turban worn by Aap Hazrat Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam proportion. Brother, again, I profusely apologize. I've not been able to get the answer myself for it. Let me note it down because this was what was missing for me. I'll note it down and you have my promise. Inshallah, tomorrow you'll have a response on this in tomorrow's session. So please bear with me. You'll get that tomorrow, inshallah. Then another question. Assalamu alaikum. Even after 2 years of Bai'at, there is not so much improvement and sabak is not increasing. Everything was going fine till that second part. Sabak is not increasing. Father, it's not your job to worry about sabak is increasing or not. People have reached that maqam that you talk about from just the first sabak because their tazkiyah, the cleansing of their soul, happened from the first sabak only, right? They were kufe kalb and then they got to Allah. So much cleansing happened. It was such a focused cleansing of the soul of the heart that they got to Allah. They didn't get to sabak number 2 or 3 or how many are there? 26, 32. Stop thinking about asbaq. Your purpose is to just do what you've been given. Okay, the sabak are not increasing. Your sheikh knows why your sabak are not increasing. He's probably seeing something that is not progressing within you, or maybe he's seeing that his second sabak is all that he needs, and maybe you get whatever you want, whatever you get what you need to get in that sabak. And after 2 years back, so my question to you is: are you doing your mamulat regularly? If yes, fabiha, just keep at it. If not, then you have your answer. And again, don't forget that sabak increase is not the purpose of it. In fact, it will hold you back because then what becomes your focus is the sabak and the increase, and somehow this perception that the more my sabak is increasing, the more my darajat, my levels are increasing. And that's not the purpose over here, brother. So just focus on your lessons, on your lesson, on lessons, update your shaykh, especially focus on the things that are not going well, and inshallah, you'll get to where you have to go. And 2 years of that, brother, you're in it for life now. There's no getting around it. There's no going back, inshallah. 2 years, you're a baby. So welcome to the path. I'm a baby. I've been 7 years on this path, a beautifully significant number for myself. Um, and may it continue, inshallah, till my last breath, until your last breath. May our khatma be on uttering the shahada. And by being on this path, inshallah, we'll be able to achieve that most significant of milestones, inshallah. So stay at it, not 2 years, the next 200 years, if that's how long Allah has given his lifespan. Then the question is, Samir Sheikh, the person saying, yes, I do my mamulat. Okay, awesome. Stay at it. You're doing fine, mashallah. Then a question is that how to do muraqabah. Kindly show the location that from which point of side of your chest. I don't feel anything. Kindly let me know. So rather than me telling you, I'll just tell you right now. But I would recommend go on Islahi Naf's website, YouTube, and choose a sabak. So go on the playlist, and the final playlist, it has the asbaq. Choose the first video if you're new to it. And inshallah, in fact, what I'll try to do quickly, if everyone bears with me, is I'll just share the video with you ASAP. So while it's loading, look, you don't have to feel anything. You just have to imagine that Allah's Noor is entering the heart of Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is distributing the faiz. The faiz of Allah is entering the heart of Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and that faiz is going through our elders, our mashayikh, the elders of our silsila, this chain that we have. It's going through their hearts. It's entering the heart of your shaykh, and it is then entering your heart, which is one finger below your left nipple. Okay, so you have to imagine it's going in there, and your heart is going Allah, Allah, Allah. So just keep at that. Don't keep your chest tight. Don't keep it stressed. Don't overthink it. Don't even hear it if you have to. But just try to imagine it going Allah, 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 and inshallah that is sufficient. In fact, I just found the video which I will share with you. And this is to everyone in the meeting. Here you go. This is a link to the first lesson. And in fact, I think it's really well explained. It's perfectly explained over here. So this will follow it, and inshallah, you will gain much benefit from it. So those are all the questions I've received. I would just, if you have more questions on the tasawwuf, the essence of it, or questions related to the practice, then I'd be more than happy to answer it. So please add those questions there if you want. And until then, I'll try to respond to questions that I was not able to respond to yesterday. Second. Here. Okay, so how can one effectively distance themselves from friendly colleagues who are very negative minded, backbiting, engaging in gossip, and not hurt their feelings in the process? So there's two parts to it. If his friends who are close to you, then there's two things you can do, three things. One thing is to not engage in it, just smile and nod your head, and not engage in it actively. Another way could be to steer the conversation gently in a different direction. And it doesn't have to be some religious conversation, sports or something, but something that's not backbiting. Backbiting is a very serious spiritual crime. It's equivalent to zina. That's how serious it is. So you're probably doing a great service in trying to turn people away from this. So it's critical that either you not engage in it, especially that you don't engage in it, and then you try to steer the conversation away. And if it's turning very negative, then things are not changing. Look, sohbat really matters. Your company really matters. If your company is engaging in backbiting, is equivalent to zina, just imagine the manhusiyat or the guna that's probably shouting on that place. Do you want to be over there? Are these people you want to invest time in? So look, you must guide people. You must try to serve an example. But if push comes to shove, it's not happening and it's impacting your soul also, right? Your heart, it's being impacted. The manhusiyat that's falling over there, that's coming on you also. So you should disengage from that process respectfully, politely, and move away from it. Um, there may be negative repercussions even. Uh, People might take it on the ego, but just remember it's equivalent to zina, so you don't want to be involved in it. Then I live in a hospital. So another question has come here. I live in a hospital. When I do muraqabah, my roommates laugh at me. They thought I'm wasting my time and they don't know what I'm doing. So tell them what you're doing. Maybe it's from a lack of communication. It will serve them well, maybe to if you spark the initial conversation that I'm doing muraqabah. This is the way of cleansing one's soul so that I may more effectively follow my deen, so that my namaz gains depth, so that uh, uh, my farz, which is namaz, which is probably the most important farz that one has to do, it is such where if I'm not able to see Allah, I am cognizant of the fact that Allah is looking at me. The fact that the namaz is considered the mirage of the moment. Just imagine, it's the mirage of the moment. And I want to ascend to my Allah through my prayers. I want my prayers to be such. And the way that's going to happen is through tasawwuf. The way it's going to happen is through muraqabah, the cleansing of my heart, so that the veils that cloud my judgment, that uh, uh, st- uh, enable me to not get to Allah, that they are removed. And if they don't believe in tasawwuf, you know what? Tough. Uh, don't worry, inshallah. Not to put it that way, that's not the purpose, but I suspect you'll have the last laugh. When your life becomes better, when you, yeah, just when you gain sukoon in your life and you're progressing and things are going swimmingly, you'll have the last laugh. Again, please try to understand that's not the purpose over here. In fact, you're supposed to be, through this, you'll become that example. And if they have it in their heart, inshallah, they'll recognize a good thing when they see it. And then it's on them to hopefully, inshallah, come towards that path and gain ultimate success themselves also. So don't worry if they're laughing at you. You may have the last laugh, inshallah. If we connect ourselves, I hope that answers your question. If we connect ourselves only with the tasawwuf, is it enough for having Allah's pleasure? And tazkiyah is enough for Allah's pleasure? Yes, so again, tazkiyah is the means, the methodology through which the habits that you have, that they gain more depth, more significance, uh, that you enable to do them better. I mentioned, you have to do all your farais, your namaz, but what sort of namaz? Is it a namaz that you are focused on Allah completely, to the absence of all other distractions? The sort of namaz that our Sahaba would be in the midst of battle and arrows would be flying, but their focus would be on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, steadfast. The sort of namaz that Hazrat Ali anhu, had an arrow lodged in his body, and it was deeply painful to extract it. So he said, "Hold on, let me do my is mafhum hai. I'm going to do my prayers, and then you dislodge it." And while he was praying, they dislodged it, and he didn't feel anything. And why? Because he was so focused on namaz. Um, so that's where tasawwuf gets you at. All right, your farz, among our five tenets of our faith, to do Hajj if one can afford it. What sort of Hajj are we having? What experience on Hajj are we having? Is it a sort of Hajj in which you just go through rituals, tick box, where you're playing cards in the middle on the plains of Arafat because you're so bored, uh, and you're not realizing that you're on one of the most significant spiritual journeys that one will undertake, and you're
तो
spending
अपना
it
कोई
by
होगा कोई अपना
playing cards. Subhanallah. Uh, but if you want to move away from that, what has seems to have become the prototype, you engage in tasawwuf, so that where your Hajj is such as was the one that Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam partook, the feelings of the Sahaba when they partook on the closing Hajj. Um, So, similarly, zakat is your cleansing happening such through tasawwuf that you're looking forward to giving zakat. You're hoping that, Ya Allah, on this date, I decide on the first of Ramzan, I'm going to give my zakat, and Ya Allah, please give me lots of wealth so that I can give zakat to earn your pleasure. And I think that answers your question, right? So, tasawwuf will become such that all the things you do, you ascend to the heights of all that is capable through that act: namaz, hajj, zakat, um, understanding the shahada, all of it just to get to Allah, to gain Allah's pleasure. So yes, it's enough to gain Allah's pleasure. And tazkiyah is the state of the exercise, the practice through which you can gain Allah's pleasure. Question then is, I have not done Beth yet, but I take Sheikh Hamayun's classes on Sundays, and I got to know that Sheikh will be doing bayans in last Ashra. What is the timing? So Sheikh Saab's bayans are, if I recall correctly, 1 o'clock at night time, 1 o'clock in the morning. But inshallah, this will be shared in advance in the last Ashra. And inshallah, I think you'll get the message. Just follow Islah Naf's group, or you can reach out to me also, and I'll share with you the time that it's happening. I don't have it with me right now, but it's around this time, from my experience, that I've had on the last few etikafs. So inshallah, it'll be early morning, and worst comes worst, you'll get to know through an update. Secondly, if I want to do Beth and I'm not living in Karachi, then how will I connect with Sheikh? So Sheikh Saab usually uh, reads out the Beth Kalamat, the Beth's Kalamat, um, the verses from which one becomes Beth to one's Sheikh often. And it's on Sundays, on a Sunday bayans. And not being in Karachi is not a problem. You can also do it online and then reach out through on their the number, the Khanka's number, and tell that you have become bad with your sheikh, and then you update Sheikh Sahib regularly on the practices that you have to do. Muraqba, tasbih, shajara, not engage in guna, and to ask forgiveness if you commit a guna. Um, and the fact that you're taking Sheikh Hamani's on classes on Sundays means that you feel a nisbat with your Sheikh. So I think it would be good of you to do that. Thirdly, is it allowed to have several sheikhs? No. The reason why I'm asking, I'm sorry, let me come to the reason, is if a person is a businessman, he faces some problems in it. So there's a possibility that sheikh might be unable to help you, as he might doesn't know that person's business. Brother, this person is in a way the CEO of Allah. Okay? So you don't need to worry. These are the matters of the heart, not a business acumen. Our sheikh, subhanAllah, my sheikh has a lot of business acumen. Um, but these are not the matters of business acumen. This is matters of the heart, right? So, in fact, a lot of business decisions, I suspect, given my own line of work, business decisions are less to do with what's the right business decision or not, versus am I doing this in the correct way? Of am I doing all the things that are acceptable to Shariat, making an effort, and then leaving it to Allah to bring the best possible outcome? And your Sheikh enables you to put that foundation in place. Um, so I would say just worry about that. Um, uh, uh, just ensure that you have one Sheikh, have faith in your Sheikh, know that he knows what's best for me, and inshallah you'll be a success. Look, if you have too many Sheikhs, if you have even more than one Sheikh, two Sheikhs, you're going to get confused. One Sheikh will say one thing, another Sheikh will say something. Both will be correct from their perspective for your situation, but it will confuse you. So best to have one Sheikh and to trust that they'll be able to guide you best. And just so you know also that um, I know of a very big Buzurg of the Qadri Silsila, very mystical, no business acumen, so to speak, whatsoever. And a person I know who was bad with him, a Cheetah Maven businessman, and he would ask him about business decisions, and this sheikh had no business background, and he would tell him do this and do that, and he would say I would do that, and I would just keep striking sixes, right? So again, the point over here being that these spiritual masters have a connection with Allah. They're the CEOs of Allah. And what business decision needs to be made, don't worry, it'll come in their heart and it'll be good for you, inshallah. Keep on. Have you got my question? Yes, I've got your question. I hope that sufficiently answers it. I'll just take one more question because I want to maintain a strict closing deadline. Jazakallah everyone for your questions. Okay, that's great. Jazakallah. Finally, regarding the backbiting, I read in one of our Akabir's books that either one has to stop the person backbiting or get up from the conversation or take the, sorry, I can't read this, take the, sorry, I can't read this one second, folks. Or take the part of the person whose backbiting is done. Please correct me if what I wrote is according to Sharia. Yeah, what exact Sharia is, I'd have to check it to ensure that I'm also correct on this. But I think I just spoke on it that either one has to stop the person backbiting through turning the conversation away or get up from the conversation. Yeah, then leave the conversation. If you feel things are not changing, then leave it. And to defend the person, that's a good point. I would add that also, maybe defend the person also. But I suspect also that changing the conversation is better because, engaging in that conversation further by defending it just entrenches the conversation further, defensive, he said, I said. So just change the conversation, and if it's not working, just get up from there. So brothers and sisters, I thoroughly enjoyed that session, and I hope it was of as much use to you as it was to me. Jazakallah for joining. Inshallah, looking forward to joining you tomorrow, where we'll have a new topic. I'll share it with you. It'll be on our channels, so it'll be shared with you. Please check it out. Come up with your questions, because this is as much for my tazkiyah as it is for yours, and I look forward to it. I have one question. Can I leave it here for tomorrow? Yes, please leave it here, and I will, inshallah, follow up on it with you tomorrow. So iPhone M, please leave it here. And everyone else, Jazakallah, and inshallah, Muhammad Akbar, again, apologies for not following up on your comment on your question. I'll ensure you have the answer on it tomorrow. Thank you everyone for joining. Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. iPhone M, please leave your question here.